And now, Ancestors, the Humankind Odyssey behind the scenes. Please welcome your moderator, Jeff Keighley.
Dobra, i Jeff będzie to prowadził, także zobaczymy, o czym tutaj pogadają.
Well, welcome to day 3 of the E3 Coliseum, some of our final sessions. And this is a special panel because we're going to get an in-depth look at an exciting game coming later this year, Ancestors, the Humankind Odyssey, from a good friend of mine. He hails from Canada like me, like Ophira's agent. He's up in Montreal. Please welcome to the stage, Patrice Desilets. Patrice. Always on brand.
Always.
How we doing? Good to see you. I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah?
How's your E3 been?
Occupied.
Yeah,
So I'm
occupied,
happy.
busy?
Yeah, busy. Like
I know.
one interview after the other, live shows, and it's been great. Good reception from the game, from what people are, seeing.
I know.
So
Well, we're
I'm
so
really
excited.
happy.
I mean, you should be happy.
It's been 10 years.
Has it been 10 years since you shipped a game?
Yeah, 2009 Assassin's Creed 2.
See, that to me is just, it's fascinating. I think, people that follow your career know kind of the ebbs and flows of things and, other projects that you were working on.
I've been designing games, though.
Yes, exactly.
It's just
That's
that I
right.
didn't
You haven't been on
ship them.
vacation for a decade.
Yeah, it's not
But,
the
I
same
mean,
thing.
really, 10 years, is there trepidation now that it's like, 10 years later? It's been that long? So does it feel different to you to be like finaling a game?
Yeah, yes, I'm older.
Yeah.
I got my own clan also. I got my family now.
Yeah.
I got my studio, got my team. So it's a total different mindset.
Yeah.
And I'm really actually proud of what we've been doing at Panache for the last 4 years.
Exactly. So it's been 4 years on this one, Ancestors, right?
Yes, exactly. But you have to understand that the first 2 years were about starting Panache, finding a team while making the game. And so we've been in full production for the last 2 years, and it's right there, 2 more months, and it's done.
I know. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I remember a couple years ago at E3 when you were with us. It was probably maybe 3 years ago when you showed some kind of the trailers,
The
the
very
ideas, all
first,
that.
like the longest teaser in the
Exactly.
history of teasers.
I know. It's always E3 or I think that thing in Croatia you always like to show
Yeah.
things at, right? It's like that's
Yes.
where Patrice breaks his news.
Yep.
So, Ancestors, let's kind of set up the context for this game. Everyone knows Patrice, obviously, his incredible work on Assassin's Creed, and when I first became a fan was Prince of Persia: Sands of Time.
Exactly.
When I was up there, I think I was still in college at the time, visiting up there when you were shipping that game in Montreal.
2003.
Yep, exactly. So it was like amazing to be up there with you and Yanis and the team shipping that game. And what I always admired about your career and the types of games you made is that there's just such a feeling of momentum, I feel, when I'm playing the games. And the combat is so fluid, and it's such a rich environment. And anyone that... You guys remember Prince of Persia: Sands of Time? A classic. So that was an amazing game that you put together. And then Assassins, obviously. Kind of took things to the next level. But with Ancestors, this is a new type of game. And can you maybe kind of explain... you say the Humankind Odyssey, and I think that's a lot of time, a lot of history.
It is a lot of time. And
so what was the original vision for what this game was going to be?
well, it all started by, I'm starting a studio. I need a first game. And when you build an action-adventure game, the most important thing is the character and how he behaves in a 3D environment. This is actually what I feel I'm really good at, is to make sure that the character is fun to play in the second-to-second gameplay. And so I came up with this really, I would say, minimalistic type of game where you would have a character in a really bland environment, and it's just about behaviors. And then people, when I asked for money, they were like, "No, dude, you're the historical guy. So you need to pick up an historical moment." And then I thought, okay, which one?
A point in time.
A point in time, yes, exactly. And I'm like, okay, which one? Because I won't have this huge team of, 7 billion people working on the game. So I will have a smaller team. And then one night I had a flash, just like one night I had a flash about the Rewind or the Animus and whatnot. So I said, prehistorical time period. I won't have to build a city. I won't have to build crowds. I will not have to build like sword fighting and I can concentrate on a character in a 3D environment. And I thought it would be easier, basically. But it's not. Because then it's an organic environment.
And that's a place and time and setting for the mechanics, the feeling on the sticks. What did you imagine as sort of the evolution? 10 years later, the style of game that you did.
Well, it's funny because I don't design around the buzz or what's fashionable. It's always about the subject matter. That's why I guess my games are a bit different. It's because it's about the subject.
Right.
And it's like attack the subject of an ape and how does it behave.
Yep.
And I wanted to go a little bit more about the intention of action, mostly, instead of just reaction. So you hold the button a lot and you release when you want to do something.
Yeah.
Takes a little bit of time before you get used to it, but once you do, it works all the time.
Okay.
So it changed a bit the mindset.
Now, I know we've got kind of an extended look here at
Yeah.
the game that we're going to look at, and we're going to kind of talk about what we're seeing to give us a demo of Ancestors. And where are you at in development, what people are seeing? I mean, you're pretty close to shipping it, right?
Yes, we're officially beta. We received our stamp of approval
Okay.
not to like 3 weeks ago.
Fantastic.
So that's good. And then we'll be probably freezing everything, I guess, I think it's June 28th.
Okay.
And then we'll debug until we
Wow.
ship on August 27th.
Okay, so only a couple months away. But yeah, let's roll this and we'll talk
Yeah.
over it to
Exactly.
give people a look.
And you have
at Ancestors.
you have an exclusivity, Jeff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you'll have the beginning of the game.
Fantastic.
And
All
you
right,
know
so
who's playing the beginning of the game in this?
probably you.
It's me.
There you go.
Had to do it.
Good guess. All right, so there's a playthrough of the beginning of Ancestors.
Exactly.
O proszę, czyli zobaczymy dosłownie początek gry chyba, tak?
The gameplay, and we'll be able to sort of talk through the
Totally.
experience
We'll
here.
talk
All right,
on top of
let's
it.
check it out.
Pantery polują na krokodyle? Seriously? Kurwa, co tak wielki ptaszor żył kiedyś, co? W tamtych czasach? Nie.
Now you take control of a little baby. This is how it all started.
Uh-huh.
By a baby all alone in the jungle being afraid. Because there's this thing in the game where fear is something you have to overcome. It's something we deal with, every day of our weeks. And I wanted to put that in our game.
So very vulnerable to start.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so you start, and if you're a baby, you're not with your clan, you'll go.
You're
through-
lost.
You're lost, and you're afraid. So
sad.
you need to find a.
We're gonna hear crying.
Yeah, a little bit. You can. But you find a place to hide, and then you'll be fine. Exactly.
Okay.
And eventually you can go and not eventually, the next step after the baby is hidden is to go and pick it up.
Okay. So right now I'm a baby.
Yeah, and just
looking
like
for
fear,
shelter.
and you know, you see like you imagine enemies, but the enemies are also there. And then suddenly you control an adult, and then it's time to pick up your baby, because in the game you don't actually play only one character. Okay, you play your clan. And now here I'm going to my sense of hearing, so I can localize where my baby is. Here it is. I go into my intelligence to mark. And then I can go inside the jungle and get my baby back.
Baby back, baby.
And babies, they represent your experience. So you need babies, and you'll make some babies.
Ah.
Yeah, it's part of it. I mean, you were asking about the time scale
Yes.
of the game, right? So each time you do a baby, you'll move 15 months in the future,
Okay.
and then eventually you'll have to.
Ciekawe jak będzie wyglądać making a baby.
15 years.
Uh-huh.
And so your baby will become adult, and the adult will become elders, and eventually you'll go into the evolution system, in which we're tracking what you're doing,
Okay.
doing all those mission or feats,
Yep.
and then eventually you'll really go forward into time, because if you've like managed to discover or a type of snake or avoid an attack, you say, oh, you're good, and so you did that in a certain period of time, and then we'll move forward thousands of years in the future.
Wow.
And this is how eventually you evolve into a different species. So when you saw it in the intro cinematic,
Yeah.
the game starts 10 million years ago,
Right.
somewhere in Africa.
A lot
And
of
it
years.
ends 2 million years ago, still in Africa, but
Really?
it'll be a different
But it's an
species.
8 million year
It's
story.
It is.
Wow.
But it's your story, Jeff.
Uh-huh. Well, I was going to ask you about sort of the player agency in the game. Talk about sort of like the goals or the tasks when you first start off in this game. What obviously the baby you talked about, but as we get into this world, I mean, what can I do? What am I supposed to do?
Oh yeah, that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't care.
Right.
What would you do? Like, would you go and just run away and
Maybe.
explore the jungle, or you could,
Yeah.
you have clan members. Maybe you
Go
could
kill some
interact
animals or something like that? Yeah.
if you can. But
Yeah.
you have to know that the story arc, if there's one,
Yes.
it is from a prey to a predator.
I see.
So at first you're
So no one would kill. I'd be running, hiding,
first hiding.
stealth.
Stealth a little bit,
Stealth, okay.
But eventually, if you're like, because Jeff, I'm asking that question.
Yes. What would I do?
Now, you Homo sapiens,
Yes.
you think you can survive like your ancestors did?
No.
Everybody's telling me no. It was like no. You know what? No.
I don't
It's
have
like,
any please.
no, I don't think I can. But whatever, that's still what I'm asking. So I cannot
Yeah.
help you out too much.
Yes. Okay.
But you can go into, like I said, you can go and have fun with your, with your clan and try to communicate with them,
Right.
and eventually create a couple that will
Okay.
help you out to make that baby that you need, because the babies represent all the.
So not really combat at the beginning. It's more about survival and sort of.
Right.
Yeah.
But you can if you find a way. That's
Right.
the thing. It's not about
Find a path.
going from, there's no map in the game. There's no
Right.
mini maps.
Oh,
So it's not about going from dots to dots, going to see someone telling you go over there
Right.
and go hunt. But if you want to
It's
hunt,
self-directed.
everything is in there. And then if you go into your neuronal system and there is kind of like some mission for you to understand that, oh, you may kill one animal, but there's many more.
Right.
So I'll try to find the other ones. Or are you ready to eat all types of food, not only fruits, right? And so, and each time you do anything, the way you play, the game is tracking, and you evolve your neuronal system depending on how you play. So if you're more into hunting, for sure everything about it will be open for you.
So every playthrough here will be different, I guess, based on
Totally.
the choice really shapes the game.
Totally, and that's why I still play Ancestors, not only because I need to finish it,
Right.
it's because I'm actually having fun playing it and discovering new stuff. And when, I write my own stories. For example, I wrote this story not through words. Oh, that's the neuronal system.
Yes, the
And now I
neuronal
discovered
system.
a new skill, which is a really basic one, but really
This is sort
important.
of a skill tree, in
Yeah,
effect?
yeah, exactly.
Right,
That's
yeah.
that's what we saw.
So what skill did I just learn there?
The most basic one, which is this like ability of having an object and just switching. This is the beginning of the motricity, fine motricity of a
Right.
character. But that helps you out with crafting,
Okay.
right? Because you can play with like anything and then try to change it,
I see. Okay.
right?
Just like
See,
the old
like I
adventure
just
game
did.
inventory system.
And then,
where-
whoop, this is the first time I saw this like horse tail, so I'm a bit afraid of it.
Uh-huh.
So now I analyze it, and then, okay, I'm fine, and then I can strip it, and I'll find another way of using that abilities.
And those abilities will then allow you to accomplish tasks or take on
And
folks,
go
but-
hunt when
Yeah.
you're ready,
Yes. Okay.
right? So I don't know if I remember correctly, if I have it here. And that's a way here that will show about how the game world will push you a little bit forward.
Yes.
You'll see at the end of the cinematic, there's
Right.
something happening, and then it's all about
Big
your
battle.
curiosity and try to. No, Jeff, it's not about big. No, but it's true.
Yeah.
It's not about the big battles and being the badass.
different style of
It
game.
is a different style. It
Yeah.
is about your own will of moving forward.
Yes.
It is about your clan.
So some people may just enjoy just being with their clan and having
Exactly.
that experience
Yes.
and playing, and it's not. You said it's
Oh.
not about the mission. Oh, what happened?
Yeah, it's like some meteorite that just.
Co? Deszcz ma to niezłe.
He's joke for you. A big battle. It's a meteorite. That's big.
No, in general, meteorites are that big when they act. Like if they're too big, we're done, man. So
Yeah.
you want the small one.
Small one.
The small one.
Small one hit the ground.
But-
It's still going to make a big impact though. The world.
Yes, but then then go and find the meteorite, and I'll give you some rewards.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So go
I'm
find
not
the
telling you
meteorite.
what right away.
Oh, so it dropped right there. That's a meteorite that dropped.
And then
Okay.
so that is like, would you go and
Of course, you got to go and explore it.
yeah? But then it'll be a bit tougher because Africa wants you dead
I see. So to get over there,
because you're not ready. You're not
There,
ready
there
there.
could be some other animals. So then, yeah, it's breastfeed.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
death.
there will be. And see, this is like you're going through your intelligence,
Uh-huh.
and the lozenge like that is like point of interest that
Right.
go and see.
So how do you hope people play this game when they pick it up at the end of August? Everyone's going to have their own experience.
Yeah.
But how do you hope people? How do you want them to feel when they play it?
At first, they will be afraid. It's funny because they will be just like the main character
Okay.
most of the time, and eventually they will transform and they will say, "Oh no, I got
So
this."
frustrated, afraid, but then kind of.
But then I got
discover.
this. And then you will become, like I say, from a prey to a predator, even as a player. And we're still big apes. So there is this inception moment because there's
Yeah.
a system about the fear, about the dopamine level. And each time you go through fear, you need dopamine. But when you
Yes.
get at the end of it, there's a boost for your character. And there will be a boost in your own brain at the same time because you say, okay, I made it.
Wow.
And so it's like the character's living the same thing, or you are living the same thing as the main character. But this is where, and I have a smile because you're asking me what do I expect people, how, what do I want from player to play, how do I want them to play?
Yeah.
I don't care.
Well,
But they- I
you
know.
do care enough because you give people the choice and the options. of how they want
Exactly.
to experience it.
And there is ways of like there's hints here and there,
Uh-huh.
but it is about discovering that game world. It's 52 kilometers square.
How long would it
on
take for
cube.
me to go from one side to the other side?
Running really, it's around 45 minutes,
Okay.
but it's like
And there's no map, so how do I figure out where to go? It doesn't matter, right? Because there's
Doesn't
you go wherever
matter.
you want to go.
yeah, there's no doors.
Exactly.
It's not a gated game. It is not a game. It's a different experience.
simulation.
Because
Yeah.
what I wanted is I didn't want people to play the video game about the subject matter.
Right.
I want the people to be in Africa 10 million years
To
ago.
be in that simulation, to
and
have
to
the world
be,
react.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then there is a little bit of gamey stuff
Right.
around it, but I want them to be that character and have an experience and be elsewhere for real for a period of time and write their own
Right.
stories for real. Like the other day, I decided that I would be the elder, just getting away alone to die. and I explore for 2 hours and a half, like a portion of the map that I don't go often, and I had a blast because it's kind of like a living and breathing world.
When you said having a blast, how do you describe what are you doing there? You're just sort of
I like
interacting
the
with the world?
traversal is really fun, of the
Okay.
swinging, going around, and then suddenly you stumble upon a big python trying to, or a crocodile. And since Jeff, I'm the best player
I would think so.
of
after working on it for
ancestors in
this
the
many years,
universe, so I
would-
know how.
I hope
and
you're
then,
pretty good. Yeah.
and so I managed to, but eventually I died anyway, because that's what I was trying to tell myself of that,
Exactly.
of that story of that, because it happened.
When you die, what happens in this game?
Respawn into a new, like a character from the clan. You can switch.
Do you lose your progress? You have to
Oh
start
yeah,
again?
no, that character is gone forever.
The skill tree, the neural net, that still have that?
That's okay.
Okay, yeah.
It's when you do a generation,
I
when you
see.
spend time, if you have enough, you lock your progression through the babies you got,
Yeah.
but sometimes you may have a bigger progression than the amount of baby, so you will lose anything you cannot lock.
Okay.
Some babies will be born with special abilities,
Yeah.
O,
so you need them,
specjalne dzieci.
and then eventually you evolve. And when you evolve, you'll spend thousands of years, and then you respawn elsewhere, and it's like, okay, where am I? How do I get? And eventually you'll be somebody else. You'll be a different species.
So as the generations leap, you say 8 million years.
Yeah.
How are my abilities going to be different at the end of the game compared to where you
How
began?
am I? Sorry, I
Your
missed it.
abilities, like the things
Oh,
you
you
can
work
do.
for sure. You'll be walking on 2 legs with 2 sticks. Well,
Yeah.
and then it'll be easier to defend, and then you'll be able to eat some meat, and you'll have a bigger clan and whatnot.
Wow. Well, it's such a...
And something I didn't say,
yeah,
Jeff.
please.
It's 35 people.
35 people built this game in Montreal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible.
So not like really, it's a small indie team of really talented people
Yeah.
who are building this game world.
No, and you said I know it long been a passion project of yours to do something that's different,
Yeah.
that is really, as you said, more of a simulation of this environment and reacting to the player's choices, but not forcing them down a certain direction.
Yeah, and it's not a game that it's not here that much. I say that often to my team member. Don't forget that it's a game about the sex chakra.
Okay.
It's there. It's about sensation. It's not.
Yeah.
And I'm asking them the question: can you survive Homo sapiens? You think you're the best? And
Right.
No, but you'll see that you got it in you somehow. It's like it's
You think
in
so?
your.
You got it in
Oh,
you?
yeah.
Everyone has it inside themselves?
Yes, it's really. I feel like it's like in your memory, your DNA memory.
Uh-huh.
Like when you're in the savannah with your clan, and like your clan walking on 2 legs and the sticks, and it's like the sun rising in the horizon, right in the morning.
You feel it.
And then there's the elephants passing by. You go like, I've been there somewhere.
Really?
Somehow, I'm telling you.
Like the Animus?
A little bit. It's like maybe it's the real animus that I created.
Wow.
There is this like moment of like, whoa! It's I understand, even though it's not
Do
real.
you
and
jump into the present day and you're just not telling us?
No.
Yeah.
Not this
No.
time. No big
No.
twist.
No big twist?
No big twist.
Not all of
And
a
it's
sudden-
true. And it's true.
I'm not
and
all of
it's-
a sudden in Cyberpunk or something? No. Well, it looks incredible. I got to say, I really admire the thrust of sort of your vision to sort of present games in kind of a different way. And I think what our industry needs is more creators like you who sort
thank
of
you,
want
Jeff.
to do things that are different and maybe uncomfortable. I think even for people not try and understand. And it's one of the things where I think you have to kind of play it and experience it
Exactly.
to fully grasp what you're building. But it's not going to be much
2
longer
more
now.
months. 2 more months.
2 more months. End of August, right? And it's coming out. Where's it coming out?
Epic Game Store.
Yes.
So August 27, and then on console in December.
All right. So Epic Game Store, end of August. Consoles in December. Patrice, it's great to have you back shipping games. We hope it's the first of many.
Many, yep.
Give it up for Patrice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
In my head. Yo.